Okay, so let's continue from the previous session. So in the previous class, we have started with flexibility matrix method. We understood this method by taking an example. So the example was two-span continuous beam, okay, as shown on the screen. So first we release the uh, we first find the SI of the structure. So here the SI of the structure is 2. There are two unknown extra unknowns present in the member. So we have to choose two redundant. Now for choosing the redundant, we have uh, different options, like we can choose MA and VA, we can choose VB and VC, we can choose MA and M moment at B. So in this case, we have chosen MA and MB as redundant. So this Q1 and Q2 are the redundant. So then we release the structure. So this is the released structure subjected to applied load. Okay, so this will uh, give you the values of capital M. Then we formulate the DQL matrix and F matrix. So, so this is the release structure subjected to applied load. So the bending moment diagram here we are using the principle of superposition and separating uh, and we find the bending moment diagram for loads on each segment. So, let us assume that the load is on AB only. So the bending moment diagram would be like this. This point load on span AB. Okay, so this is the triangular bending moment diagram. Then this span UDL on span BC. So this will give you this. So all these are the capital M diagram for the given loading, and based on then we we apply the unit values of the redundant. So let us say Q1 is equals to 1. So the corresponding bending moment diagram will be this 1, and here there is a hinge, internal hinge, so it will be 0 here. Then we apply Q2 is equals to 1. So bending moment diagram will be value will be 1 at B and 0 at A and C. So this is your small M2 diagram. Now your DQL matrix will be have two elements, that is DQL1 and DQL2. It will be a 2 by 1 matrix. That means it is SI by 1 matrix. It is a SI here is 2 multiplied by 1. It is a column matrix of rows equal to SI, value of SI, that is N. So DQL1 is equals to capital M M1 by EI, which we have discussed in the theory class, and DQL2 will be M small m2 times EI. Now here capital M means we have to take the area under the capital M diagram, and M1 is the ordinate in M1 diagram corresponding to the CG of the capital M diagram. Okay. So similarly, capital M is the area of the capital M diagram, and M2 is the ordinate in M2 diagram corresponding to the CG of capital M diagram. Say for example, uh, this. So the CG of this will be here, okay, and it is at a distance of 3 meters from O. So the corresponding ordinate you have to take in M1 diagram. So that will be here. So at 3 meter, the ordinate will be 0.5 because it is 1 here and 0 at 6 meter. So at 3 meter, it will be 0.5. Okay, so same thing we are doing here. So DQL1 will be capital M small m1 by EI. So 2 by 3 into 6 into 180. It is the area of M diagram UDL1. So this is first this value, area of this portion hatched in yellow. Okay, that is 2 by 3 base into height, and its CG will be at 3 meter. So at 3 meter the ordinate will be in M1 diagram. Ordinate at 3 meter in M1 diagram is 0.5. This is the ordinate. It is 1 at 0 and 0 at 6. So at 3 meter it is 0.5. Okay, so this is the corresponding the ordinate in M1 diagram corresponding to the CG of M diagram. Then this is for the point load, and this is for the UDL on segment BC. So same procedure is done here. Then so you will get DQL1 as 180 by EI. Similarly, DQL2 you will get as 225 by EI. So your DQL matrix is formed 1 upon EI 180 and 225. Okay. Now next is the flexibility matrix, that is F matrix. The F matrix, we have studied that it is a square matrix of size n cross n. Okay, it is a flexibility matrix is SI times SI matrix. That means n cross n matrix. So here n value, that is SI value, is 2. So it is a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so and the component of this matrix will be F11, F12, F21, F22. Okay, now here where F11 is equal to same as this, it will be small m1 by EI. It will be small m1 by EI. F12, which will be equal to F21 because it is a symmetrical matrix, and that will be equal to, let us write it separately so that you can get that m1 m2 upon EI, and this will be F21 will be m2 m1 by EI, and F22 will be m2 upon EI. Now here the first one, you have to take the area of small m1 diagram, same as will be same, the notations will be same, and small, for this you have to take the ordinate in m1 diagram corresponding to CG of this small m1 diagram. Here you have to take area of m1 diagram, and this is ordinate in m2 diagram corresponding to CG of this m1 diagram. Okay, means ordinate of this, area of this first. So here area of m2 diagram area of M2 diagram, and ordinate in M1 diagram corresponding to CG of M2 diagram. Then here area of M2 diagram, and here ordinate in M2 diagram corresponding to CG of M2 diagram. Okay. Now note that here F12 will be equal to F21. If you calculate the area of M1 diagram and take the multiply it with the corresponding ordinate in M2 diagram, you will get the same value as area of M2 diagram multiplied with the ordinate in M1 diagram, corresponding ordinate of CG in M1 diagram. Okay, that we'll check by finding the values now. So let us first find the F1, F11. So F11, which is equal to M1 upon EI. Now you have to refer now this M1 diagram. So area of this triangle, that is the area of M1 diagram. Okay, and the CG of this will be here somewhere, that is at a distance of 2 meter, because the base of the triangle is 6 meter, so it will be at 2 by one third of this, so that will be at 2 meter, and from here it will be 4 meter. Okay, so this distance will be 4 meter. Okay, so you have to find the ordinate corresponding to this, so in M1 diagram also. So this corresponding ordinate here will be, you can use the triangle rule and find this. So let us say it be x, so x by 1 equal to, see, x by x, let us say this is x, so x by 1 will be equal to 4 by 6, so it will be 2 by 3. Okay, so this implies x is 2 by 3, so ordinate here is 2 by 3. So first we take the area of M1 diagram. Area of M1 diagram will be 1 by 2, base is 6 meter, because area of triangle is 1/2 base into height into altitude is 1. Okay, so area will be 1 by 2, 6 into 1. So this is this value M1. Now you have to take the ordinate in M1 diagram only, in the same diagram. So the ordinate is 2 by 3. We have found the ordinate corresponding to CG of M1 diagram is 2 by 3. Okay, this ordinate. This divided by EI, so it will be equal to, this 2 gets cancelled, so it will be And also the EI of EI for first segment is 3 EI and for second segment is EI. So it will be 3 times EI. The I for this number is 3I. So it will be 3 EI. This gets cancelled. This, so you will have 2 upon 3 EI. Okay. Now F12 will be M1 M2 by EI. See, you have to add the second segment also. See, let us add the second segment. This was the this was for this portion. Now here there is no bending moment, so there is no diagram here. So it will be plus 0, plus 0, plus 0. So you will get it as 2 by 3 EI. Now M12 will be M12 by EI. Now area of M1 diagram, it will be same as this. So 1 by 2 into 6 into 1. Okay, now you have to take the ordinate in M2 diagram. So the CG of M1 diagram, CG of M1 diagram is at 2 meter. So you have to take the corresponding ordinate in this diagram, in M2 diagram. So at 2 meter you have to find the ordinate. So at 2 meter you have to find the ordinate. So at 6 meter the value is 1. So at 2 meter what will be the value? So let us say it be x. So x will be equal to 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3. Okay, so the ordinate here is 1 by 3. Okay, so you multiply here by 1 by 3. Whole divided by, this is first segment, the EI of which is 3 EI. Okay, now for the second segment, the area of M1 diagram is 0. Okay, so 0, it will be plus 0 only. So you will have 1 by 3 EI. Okay, now this will be same as your F21 because F matrix is symmetric matrix. Let us check that. So your F21 will be equal to M2 M1 by EI. That means you have to take the area of M2 diagram and corresponding CG ordinate in M1 diagram. So we take the area, let us take the area of this part. We take two triangles, one this, because for this portion EI is different. So EI is 3 EI for this portion. And we take this triangle for the second segment. Now the CG of this will be here somewhere, okay, and CG of this will be here. Okay, the distance of this will be, it will be at b by 3 distance from here, so this distance will be b by 3, that is 2 meter, and this distance will be 4 meter. Okay, similarly, this is the CG, this is the CG. Okay, the CG of this will be at b by 3, that is 3 by 3, that is 1 meter, and this will be 2 meter. Okay, so you have to take the corresponding ordinate in M1 diagram. So you take the ordinate at 4 meter and you take the ordinate at 7 meter from the left. This is 6 plus 1, 7. So 7 meter from the left. So this distance will be 7 meter and this distance is 4 meter. Okay, so you have to take the corresponding ordinate in M1 diagram. So corresponding to 4 meter, you have to find the ordinate at 4 meter. So let us say this is the 4 meter distance. This is 4 meter. So the ordinate corresponding to this will be, see, in 6 meter it is 1 in 6 meter it is 1. Okay, 6 meter the ordinate is 1. So at 2 meter let it be x. So your x will be equal to 2 by 6, that means 1 by 3. So this ordinate is 1 by 3. Okay, and at 7 meter, this is 6 meter and this is 7 meter, somewhere here. So at 7 meter the ordinate is 0. At 7 meter the ordinate is 0. So your matrix will be, you have to take the area of M2 diagram. So first triangle, let us take the first triangle. Area of this blue hatched triangle, so that will be 1 by 2, base is 6 meter, height is 1 meter, so 1 by 2, 6 into 1, that is the area hatched in blue. This is area hatched in blue. Okay, multiplied with the ordinate in M1 diagram. So corresponding ordinate, the CG of this is at 4 meter. Okay, this is at 4 meter. So corresponding ordinate at 4 meter is, in M1 diagram, is 1 by 3. So this is 1 by 3. Okay, multiplied with 1 by 3 divided by the flexural rigidity of this segment is 3 EI. Okay, plus now you have to take the area of the second segment hatched in yellow, this. So area of this triangle will be 1 by 2, base is 3 meter, height is 1 meter, so 1 by 2, 3 into 1, 1 by 2, 3 into 1. So this is the area hatched in yellow. Okay, and multiply it with the ordinate in M1 diagram. So multiply it with the ordinate in M1 diagram. So the CG is located at 7 meter from the left. Okay, this is 6 meter and it is located at 1 meter from the this this point. So it is 7 meter from the left. So at 7 meter, what is the ordinate in M1 diagram? It is 0. At 7 meter, the ordinate is 0 because there is no bending moment in that segment in M1 diagram. So multiply it with the 0. Volt divided by, now flexural rigidity of this segment is, the flexural rigidity of this segment is EI only because I is I. So it will be divided by EI. So this part will be 0. Okay. So you will have 2 by 3, 1 by 3, not 2 by 3. This 3 into 2, 6. 6 by 6, it will be 1 only. So it will be 1 by 3 EI plus 0 because this part will be 0 because it is multiplied with 0. So it will be 1 by 3 EI. Okay, you can check that both F12 and F21 they are same, which is same as F12. Okay, so you can calculate either of these. You can and take the other value as same as earlier. Next is F22, which will be M2 by EI. Now here you have to take the area of M2 diagram. So area of M2 diagram, first segment is 1 by 2, 6 into 1, multiply by, you have to take the ordinate of M2 diagram only, same, the ordinate in same diagram. So here you have to take the ordinate in this diagram only. So the ordinate here will be, you have to find. So here the ordinate will be, at 6 meter it is 1. So at 4 meter it will be 2 by 3. Here same, here also the ordinate will be 2 by 3 because in 3 meter it is 1. So at 2 meter it will be 2 by 3. लेक्चर अटेंड नहीं करोगे उसे लिख रहा है बाद में आना चाहिए. So corresponding ordinate in M2 diagram will be 2 by 3 for this segment divided by E into 3I plus this part. It will be same 1 by 2, 3 into 1, multiply by, now this time you have to take the ordinate of M2 diagram only. So in M2 diagram corresponding to the CG of the CG will be 2 by 3. So multiply it with 2 by 3. Okay. Volt divided by EI because for segment BC flexural rigidity is EI. So this is the area of the first part, first segment, that is AB, and this is the area of the second part, that is BC. Okay. So that will be equal to 2 by 3 EI plus, for this it will be 1 by 3 EI, 1 by EI. So you will get this as 5 by 3 EI. Okay. So you have the value of F11, F12, F21 and F22. So you can make F matrix which is given by F1 this form. So therefore your F matrix, which will be a 2 by 2 matrix, will be equal to, we take 1 by EI as common, so 1 by EI as common, so F11 is 2 by 3, so this will be 2 by 3. F21 and F12 are 1 by 3, so this component will be 1 by 3, 1 by 3, and this will be 5 by 3. Okay, or you can take 3 as common also, so it will be 1 by 3 EI, so it will be 2, 1, 1, 5, whichever is convenient to you, you can take that. Now you have to take the F inverse, so either you can use calculator to find the F inverse, or you take the we know that F inverse is equal to you can use calci to get that, so it will be 3 EI by 9. This is the determinant of F. 5 minus 1 minus 1. And then you can find the redundant Q, which is our next step. Okay, so we have find the flexibility matrix, then we apply the compatibility condition, that is Q is equals to F inverse dQ minus dQL. Now in this case dQ matrix is 0 because we don't have any support displacements given. So this is step 5. Primary unknowns. So here the primary unknowns are the redundants, Q. Okay. So applying compatibility condition, we'll have Q is equals to F inverse dQ matrix minus dQL matrix. Okay, now this component dQL will be 0 because no support displacement. V1. Okay, so this will be equal to F inverse, which is equals to 3 EI by 9 into 5 minus 1 minus 1 2. This is F matrix multiplied by DQL matrix, but that will be minus DQL matrix. So DQL matrix will be this 1 by EI 180 225. 1 by EI 180 and 225. So this EI gets cancelled, and you take the matrix multiplication. This is 2 by 2 matrix, this is 2 by 1 matrix, so you will get a matrix of 2 by 1. Okay, see, this is 2, this is 2, this is 2. So the matrix multiplication is plausible because this is m cross n and this is n cross j. Okay. This is j. So you will get a matrix of n cross j. So this will be your cube matrix q1 and q2. Okay, so to multiply it, you will get this as minus 225 and minus 19. So that means your q1 is minus 225 kilonewton meter. Minus means whatever the sign we have assumed, take the reverse of that. So here we have assumed q1, wait a minute, let me just verify this. This will be 225 kilonewton meter acting in anti-clockwise direction, and q2 will be 90 kilonewton meter. That is okay. So these are the primary unknowns. this Q1 is actually clockwise. Okay, so this is you can also see for DQL matrix. You have to take this capital M diagram of UDL1. So this is hatched in yellow. You have to take this area, yellow hatched area. For this, you have to take the area of this point load hatched in blue. So take the MT1 area and for the third segment same way here also. This is area hatched in green. This is area hatched in blue. And this one is area hatched in red. So next step is to find the secondary unknowns. So step 6. Secondary unknowns. Now secondary unknowns are the reactions and the member and actions. Now here we'll find the reactions only, but you can by same logic you can find the member and actions also. So let us find reactions. So reactions are given by AR is equals to ARL matrix plus ARQ matrix into Q matrix. We know the Q matrix here, but we have to find ARL and ARQ. So let us find ARL matrix, where ARL matrix is equal to, here we have three reactions. Okay, in the release diagram we have three reactions. Okay. They are, this is, let us say this is AR ARL1, this is ARL2, this will be ARL3. Similarly, for the unit load diagram, this we will have this AR cube matrix. This is ARL1, ARL2, ARL3. The value of ARL1 will be equal to the reaction here, reaction due to this load. So it will be this load ARL reaction here will be due to this point load. It will be 80 by 2 because it is at center. So 80 by 2 plus the reaction due to this UDL. So 40 into 6 by 2. So your ARL1 will be 40 plus 120. So that is 160. Similarly, AR2 will be equal to, it will have reaction from this segment as well as this segment. So it will have 80 by 2 plus 40 into 6 by 2 plus half of this load, that is 40 into 3 by 2. So that will be equal to 160, that is this 160 plus 60. 160 plus 60, that is 220. Okay, same way ARL3 will be, it will be 40 into 3 by 2, that is 60. Okay, so you have the value of ARL1, ARL2, ARL3. Okay, it is nothing but ARL1 is, the point load is 80 into 80 by 2 plus 40 into 6 by 2, so that will be 160. Note that here we have provided an internal hinge. So these two segments are two separate ones. So you can analyze this like this. Let us say this first part, and this says second part, and it is loaded with a UDL, and a point load at the center in the first segment. This is 80 kilonewton, this is 40 kilonewton per meter, 40 kilonewton per meter. You can separate also. This will be ARL1, and sum of these two will be your ARL2, and this will be ARL3. So ARL1 will be equal to 80 by 2 plus 40 into 6 by 2, that is 160. Same way ARL2 will be 80 by 2 plus 40 into 6 by 2, that is for the first segment from this part, and from this part plus 40 into 3 by 2. This is 6 meter, this is 3 meter. So this will be equal to 220 kilonewton. Then ARL3 will be equal to 40 into 3 by 2, that is 60 kilonewton. So you have the ARL matrix. ARL matrix equal to 160, 220 and 60. Okay. Now next is ARQ matrix. ARQ matrix, which will be equal to number of reactions multiplied by n. It will be R cross n matrix. This will be R cross 1 matrix, where R is the reaction, number of reactions. R is the number of reactions. So here we have 3 reactions, so it will be 3 by 1 matrix, and n is the SI of the system. So here SI is 2, so this matrix will be, it will be ARQ matrix will be 3 cross 2 matrix. Okay, so it will be ARQ 1 1, ARQ 1 2, ARQ 2 1, ARQ 2 2, ARQ 3 1, ARQ 3 2. Okay, now to find these, we have to find the reactions in unit load diagram. That means this. That means when you are applying this value, so what is the reaction here? That will be your ARQ1. This is ARQ1, one reaction and corresponding to unit load in 1. So ARQ1, this will be ARQ21, this will be ARQ31. Okay, same way in this diagram, this will be ARQ12, this will be ARQ22, this will be ARQ32. Okay, so let us find all these reactions. So for that, consider the same, we split the beams into 2 segments. Okay. And then we find the reactions here. This will be your ARQ11. Some of these two will be ARQ22, ARQ31. This is 21. Okay, and we have applied this 1 kilonewton meter. This Q1, this is Q1, this is 1 kilonewton meter. So because of this, there will be a reaction in this. This reaction will be, this is 6 meter, this is 3 meter. So this is 10, it tends to rotate the beam in clockwise, so reaction will be in anti-clockwise. So this value will be 1 by 6 and this will be minus 1 by 6. Okay, because it will be in downward direction. So this will be minus 1 by 6 and this will be 1 by 6. Now here this will be 0, this will be 0. So your ARQ11 matrix will be 1 by minus 1 by 6. This will be 1 by 6 and this will be 0. Okay. Same way, the second diagram, this. Now here we are applying moment. We have applied moment like this. This is Q2 is equals to 1. Just add these two parts. This is 6 meter, 3 meter. Now this will be your ARQ12. This will be, sum of these two will be equal to ARQ22. This will be ARQ32. Okay. So when this tends to rotate the beam in anti-clockwise direction, so this will be minus 1 by 6. This will be plus 1 by 6. Same way this tends to rotate the beam in clockwise direction, so this will be plus 1 by 3. This will be minus 1 by 3. So your this will be, value will be 1 by 6. This will be equal to minus 1 by 3, 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6 plus minus 1 by 3. So that will be minus 3 by 6. That is minus 1 by 2. And this will be equal to 1 by 3. Okay, so you will get ARQ11 as minus 1 by 6, ARQ21 as 1 by 6, ARQ31 as 0. Same way here, ARQ12 equals to 1 by 6, ARQ22 as minus 1 by 2, and ARQ32 as 1 by 3. Okay, so your ARQ matrix is equal to minus 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, minus 1 by 2, 0, 1 by 3. Okay, and Q matrix we already obtained, and Q matrix is equal to minus 225 and minus 90. So you can take the matrix operation, that is AR equals to ARL plus ARQ into Q. So that will be ARL matrix is 160, 220 and 60 plus ARQ matrix is minus 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, minus 1 by 2, 0 and 1 by 3. Okay, multiply it with Q matrix, that is minus 225 and minus 90. Now this is 3 cross 1, this is 3 cross 2, this is 1 cross 2 cross 1. Okay, so finally you will get this reactions as AR matrix as 182.5, 227.5 and 30. All positive means they are, your AR1 is equals to 182.5 kilonewton in upward direction, positive because we have assumed upward positive. AR2 as 227.5 kilonewton in upward direction and AR3 as 30 kilonewton in upward direction. This is your reactions in actual structure. Reactions in actual structure. Okay. Whereas this was the reactions in released structure due to unit value of redundant. Okay. Whereas this was reaction in released structure due to applied load or given load. Okay, so whatever the reaction you now got, AR1, AR2 and AR3, they are the reactions in the actual structure, which is this. So this value will be 182.5 kilonewton. This value will be 227.5 kilonewton and this value will be 30 kilonewton. Okay, so with this this example is completed. So we stop here, and in the next class we'll take 2 more examples related to flexibility matrix method. So let's end the meeting here. If you have any doubt, we can discuss now.